What is going on, everybody? James Madison Odds here. We're at the City Hall at Daytona Beach Shores, where life is beautiful, they say, or life is better here. You can see it on the sign. However, there's a report that 2 officers had utilized the city's jail cell to put their child in it. So I requested a copy of the IA. Sherry Swab, which you're going to see here in just a minute, provided me an invoice for approximately $3,200. I spoke to the front desk clerk to get Sherry Swab down so that I could ask her questions about this request. $3,200 for an IA is the most I have ever seen in my entire time of pulling records. Let's listen to what she has to say. So yeah, I did a record request. I think it was for the IA.
Yes,
So
for the public safety IA.
Yeah.
So what has to happen is I need to go through the entire IA file and do redactions.
Yes,
Any personal information and all that.
Yeah.
It's a very large file.
Oh,
so that's an estimate of me taking about 40 hours to do that.
So that your 84 is your time and benefits?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, my hourly rate plus the benefits, and I got that from our finance department.
What is your hourly rate? Is it like 40?
55 and change.
55 and change. That's pretty awesome. I probably was going to cancel that because that's an exorbitant amount of money. I think it's a little excessive. Almost, I don't know. Do you know how many pages the IA was? You don't know. Did you make that decision for the 40 hours, or did they?
That's the estimate they gave me. It's probably going to take you about a good week to go through everything.
Okay.
Videos, pictures, audio.
Well, I can't get any videos. I've already been denied the videos.
I understand.
Yeah.
And that, as I said, that's an estimate.
Okay.
Best guess, it may be less, it may be more. I haven't started it yet.
No, I understand. I did one with Port Orange. Port Orange is the criminal enterprise of Volusia County, and they try to thwart me for public records all the time. And I think my highest IA for a 70-page IA was $62, maybe 80. So in order, let me see. So 40 times 82. So to get a copy of this IA, it's going to be $3,200.
For time and labor, and I don't know how many copies yet.
No, I understand. Like I said, believe me, I understand that. I just, out of all the IAs I have, even sexual offenses and things like that, $3,200 for an IA. You have an oath of office signed? Do you have an oath of office signed?
For myself?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, all right, cool. I'm gonna have to cancel that because it's an excessive fee. The reason why I think it's an excessive fee is I looked at your policy that you sent me, and you charge $5 for a DVD. The Florida state statute says actual cost of duplication for DVDs. But at this time, I wanna see if I can get one single piece of paper. It's the Form 61. Form 61 FDLE for each officer, just a copy of that, a digital copy of that. And that's the basic.
And which officers are you referring to?
Sorry, this is for the IA, so whoever's involved in the IA. I don't know who it is because I haven't got the IA yet, so I would imagine, I don't know.
Form 61, what type of form is that?
So
I
that's
don't know all that, if you
no,
know.
it's understand. It's a Florida Department of Law Enforcement reporting form that when there's an IA closeout, when there's something like that, they have particular boxes they have to check. It's it's a single page, so I imagine I may have to be back in here. Yeah, so it's a single page.
Okay.
And then it will have what the outcome of the investigation was and all that. So we'll start there. I was told that Director Fowler or Chief Fowler, what it is going to do anything necessary to stop this from getting out to the public, this IA. I know it's laughing, but
No, I'm surprised that
that's what I was surprised too as well. I mean, this is a super matter of public interest. These officers were not put on any administrative leave. I'm believing they were recommended for felony charges from what I was told from the FDLE, and the state attorney received that. But I was told by a potential source that he doesn't want this out there, and he doesn't want this to be out there. I don't know how true it is. I have to go through and dig through things, but a $3,200 bill for an IA is pretty much prima facie evidence that they don't want this out there. And the last piece of paper I would like to get from him is his Form 1. Do you know what a Form 1 is? Okay, so just his Form 1. Do you have one of those as well?
I do.
And if it's easy and accessible and it's not going to be an excessive charge, I'd like to have a copy of yours. And I think that should be it. I hope it's not true, but like I said, I'm leaning into it. That it is true that, I mean, again, for first time with a $3,200 bill for an IA. It's crazy. How would public ever be able to afford, this is just me talking, how would public be able to afford a copy of a matter of public interest if no one can afford it? That's someone's mortgage payment.
I understand, but it's a very sensitive file,
Mm.
and it has to be redacted,
Yeah.
and there's time involved
Oh, of
in
course.
redacting it.
Yeah. I definitely, there's probably gonna be a child's name. Do you?
Not gotten into it yet.
No, I know, I figured so. Do you have an estimate on your redactions page per minute? Do you know what your average is? I didn't know, because a lot of clerks that I talk to and see, they're like, well, my average is about 1.5 pages per minute, or a quarter of a page per minute.
I honestly, I don't know, because I don't even know what I'm gonna be looking at, what types of forms.
Okay, see if I can get some
So-
information.
I owe you 2 Form 61s
Yes.
and 1 Form 1.
Can you put /78 on there, just in case they did a Form 78 for whatever reason? It's the same,
61 and 78.
yeah. All right, that's it. I appreciate it. Thank you for your time.
Okay, and I've got your email address.
So once again, I head back over to where the PIO is. This is who the city instructs me to come over and talk to. She's going to provide very little information and say that the investigation is still ongoing, but I want to let you guys know this. I put a link in the description so you could see the entire file of this IA for the Daytona Beach Shores incident. You can check that out on my website and see that below.
I asked Miss Maddox a while ago just any kind of statement about what was going on with the Shores, the Show and Broad and Long incident, and I was just going to see if there's anything available.
Yeah, we can't discuss that right now, unfortunately.
When do you think you will be able to? Because it's been 7-8 months.
Right, I'm not sure.
Okay.
I don't know.
All right.
But
And is Nancy Maddox still upstairs or work here?
oh, she does.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay, I just
I'm the new
you're the-
PIO. Yeah, I just started in February.
In
So
February. All right,
yeah.
so that's it. So one of the things I was going to ask about, and I know you say you can't have a comment on it, but maybe
Right.
it's something that can be figured out, even if it's just thought through and provided in writing, just saying, hey, we did an investigation and there was something handed out, but right now it seems like it was just fully covered up. But what I was going to ask about is, in the statutes, there's a mandatory reporting statute for anybody in public service, medical doctors, and certain classes of, I guess, people. I don't know how it would be, whatever their designations, like lawyers, attorneys, judges, nurses, all this, are required to mandatory report child neglect and abuse. And I was going to see why that hasn't been done and what the city had to say about that. So that was it.
Well, I believe that's been, that's unfounded at this point. So other than that, I really can't,
Yeah, the
speak on
child
it,
neglect
so.
and abuse has been unfounded.
I'm not aware of any,
Yeah.
so.
No, you have, there's kind of steps you have to go through. You got to go through, there's an incident, a police officer sees it and says, oh my gosh, this may be child abuse. I'm required to report it. I think FDLE recommended felony charges. What else was there? One of the people in the front says it was a big deal. I don't know if they were put on leave. We don't know any information regarding that. But how long have you been here?
February.
So February. You weren't even here
Yeah.
during the total incident.
No.
Okay.
No.
And when did you get PIO? February?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, they might have briefed you on something and gave you some information, but yeah, that's where I was just trying to find out, where is the city's position in this? If you said it was unfounded, is there any documents that support that it was unfounded?
I'm sure once we can discuss it.
You can
That-
now, the order's out.
Well, no, we can't, as of, I'm not gonna
You're not
discuss
allowed.
it. No, I'm not gonna
Gotcha,
discuss it,
okay.
yeah.
But you're not legally bound not to discuss it, it's just the city's stance is, hey, we have no comment.
No, it's basically, we can't discuss it while things are being investigated, so.
Bill Frank said that the investigation was over, it was done, they have everything that was done. This is the child being put into a jail cell and handcuffed, not the subsequent IAs. And that's closed.
Well, I have nothing to say on that at this
All right,
point.
well, that's it, yeah. So this is a stonewalling, this is what happens with the city. You say it's under investigation, Bill Frank says it's not, the IA is closed, so is there an active IA then? For this jail incident?
I'm not even gonna respond to
All
that.
right. I get it. All right. Well, I'll let you get your creamer and coffee. Enjoy that in the morning. I got you before coffee, and that's the worst. Maybe after. I
Thank
think
you.
it's strange that the city has absolutely nothing to say, and they can't say if it's investigating still. A sergeant that's in charge of investigations says that it's closed and done and over with, but you're saying that it's not.
Correct.
Okay. All
And
right.
I would be, I'll say I'll be happy once, I can and things are done, I would be more than happy to talk to you
Okay.
about it.
I doubt it. No agency really does. I mean, it's just the way it was. Miss Maddox was hiding in her office up here, claiming she was on a meeting. The public records proved that she was in a meeting, and the only phone calls that were happening were her secretary calling her, hanging up the phone, doing this, Bill Frank calling her, and this is all happening when they told me to come over here and speak to her. And then she's up in the kitchen where you guys make the coffee and food or whatever it is, and I walk out, and it was just basically another stonewalling and another just blow off, and now we're 7-9 months into it, and the city has no comment. I guess that's it. All right, thank you.
You're very welcome.
No, all right, thanks a lot.
Thanks.
Thank you. Have a good day. Wow.
You have heard it there from the Daytona Beach Shores Public Information Officer. They're still not releasing any information about this and have no comment. However, I did put a link to all of the documents related to this incident in the description below. The only thing that we're lacking is the audio interview between the two subjects of the investigation. I want to thank you guys for watching, liking, subscribing, and check those links down in the description. I'll see you soon.